get started. So we got two in our group that got awards this week, or this last week. Here is Laura at Copper Mountain. All she needed left was the MA Tech. That's why she got her nice silver blingy pin early. And then, I don't know. Can you guys see it?
Hmm.
Hopefully you can see it. I don't
Yeah.
know. There we go. All right. And then there was one other who got one too, which was now, this is not a photo of him, but this is what he sent me.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
That's great.
David.
Thanks.
So we're going to go ahead and invite
Chuck.
them to kind of share their experience
Hmm.
about what happened at the exam, maybe some pitfalls that they either avoided or they managed to skate around. And I mean, success is success, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. Fours are fours, and they all work out. And it doesn't really matter sometimes, when you get that pin, that's all you kind of see. But,
Right.
in reflection, hopefully you've got a
So
few
I
days.
just want to add that Marin also got hers.
Oh, Marin got hers. Good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
When was
Marin got
that?
her level 2 as well.
Good. Good for
Oh,
her.
wonderful.
Saturday, I think.
Three in a
Yesterday.
week is always good.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
who wants to go
Pat
first,
yourself
Dave
in
or
the
Laura?
back.
I would be happy to go first because I have some very specific things that I got out of this. And then I have to go because I still have to drive to Boulder, and that just gets too late if I stay for the whole thing. But I'm going to be back. I'm not done with this MA at all. Um, so the first thing was that when I started talking, doing my tech talk, I'm going to shut my door so nobody else, my family doesn't have to hear this. Um, when I started doing my tech talk, I was talking too much about what I was working on generally. Like this is what I'm working on my basic parallel. And I picked a very specific part of it. And I mean, it wasn't, I don't mean generally like, oh, I need it all to get better, but I had a very specific part. And my examiner interrupted me and said, but what did you notice on this run? And I think it's really important to know what you want to say and have an idea of what you're working on and having that prepared, but don't prepare so much that you forget to say, this is what was going on this run specifically. Does that make sense?
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And then,
they're probably gonna ask you for something that's pretty unique about your own what your own performance was, so that you're gonna get focused. I mean, that's kind of the point.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I got that. And then the other thing I got was the week before the exam, I realized I wasn't nearly as comfortable talking about bumps and performance in bumps. And that week, I came really close to calling Chuck up and saying, we need to talk about bumps for another 30 minutes. And I didn't do that. I didn't call any of my trainers. And I just went in there knowing I was weaker on bumps. And lo and behold, I was weaker on bumps. So luckily, I think I got a really strong mark on my morning analysis of basic parallel, but I was kind of weak on my bumps, but it evened out. But I would say if you know you have a weakness, don't try to pretend you don't have that weakness. Deal with it before you get to the exam. Because I think I almost flubbed up because I didn't do as good of a job talking about my guy in bumps. So that's what
Yeah.
I've got.
Laura, would you mind elaborating a little bit on the bumps? Like what could you have done differently, or what were they
So
looking for, perhaps?
so my skier was to me, he was kind of an odd skier on bumps. He was he was good. I mean, he looked good. He was very parallel. Um, his stance looked pretty good, but he was turning from his tails. So his tails were really turning out on each turn. And then he had I mean, almost a non-existent shaping because it was just, if you see my hand, it was just like he was like turn, 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 turn. So a real zipper line, but just with his tails pivoting. And this makes me sound stupid, but I wasn't clear enough of saying, so given that his tails are pivoting, I can say it now, given that his tails are pivoting, he is too forward on his skis at initiation. And I think part of the reason I didn't articulate that for initiation is then I really don't know and I still don't really know what he was doing at shaping and finishing. Like, was he staying forward? Was he doing some extension and flexion? I'm not even really sure what he was doing. But his his turns were almost like a series of very tidy hockey stops. And I just wasn't prepared to talk about what he was doing with his skis and body in all three phases of the turn. And I'm still not. So I'm gonna talk to Gumby about this when I see him back at Winter Park next week or 2 weeks from now. But I just wasn't that good at it. And then I really did a stupid thing, which was I used the word pivot point, even though I really don't know what pivot point exactly means. And don't ever say something that you don't know what it means.
Oh, they know instantly.
Because they will ask you about it, and then you have to say, "Oh shit, I'm sorry, I really don't actually know what that means." So yeah, um, yeah. So that it was that I need so just like I feel like I've done a really good job over the last 6 months looking at things people do wrong in their basic parallel and their short radius dynamic and really being able to separate that into the three phases of the turn. I just wasn't able to do that in bumps. And especially not with this slightly different guy, but not that different. We've all seen this guy, right? We've seen the person who can ski and look really good, but then you actually realize he's just pivoting, or she is just pivoting from their tails. And their tails are just swooshing out and not even coming close to tracking behind their
Yeah.
skis.
Yeah, he has no shape.
He has no shape, but I wasn't able to articulate that as well. And so
Yeah.
I needed to spend more time thinking through the different ways that people can go wrong on bumps.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Thanks for
Dave.
sharing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
absolutely. Thank you.
Dave, you got anything you want to add to this, or
Um,
what were some
just
key things for you?
key things for me in the morning. My presentation was okay, but it was weaker than in the afternoon, and it really excelled in the afternoon. But what I would say is one of the things that happened in the morning was I had like a brain glitch. Like one of the examiners said, "Where is the force coming from?" It's if it's not coming from the legs, it's coming from upper body rotation. And I had to come back to her later and say, I don't know, I glitched on that, but that's obvious what it was. And she said, okay, perfect. But it's to the things that I take away from this is just the practice of doing this with you. It's just repetitive. It's mandatory for me. I know that. And uh, I was able to. Oh, the other thing in the morning. The other thing is in the presentation. They basically ask you, "What do you want? Which two fundamentals do you want to present?" It's not like they assign that to you. And
No,
when
they
we did
ask you
basic,
beforehand.
yeah, when they did basic parallel in the morning, I just kind of went ahead and did the fore aft and rotation together and said I'll save the edging and pressure for later, not thinking that it might have been better to swap those because the bumps were in the afternoon.
Yeah, yeah,
So when I got to the afternoon and the guy who I was watching, one of the good things is you have the opportunity to go up in the chair and talk with these people that you're watching, that you're going to be evaluating and so forth after you do your own self-analysis.
all right.
And I thought, and a couple other people in the class said, in the assessment said, gosh, we should have flipped this around too for the same reason. But it made me really focus and in my mind and spend a little time with the guy I was examining to work in my head, my thought process of presenting pressure to pressure and edging. And that really helped. And when I was able to see him in the afternoon, I was able to put it together 1, 2, 3, and I got good scores for that. So that those are some of my takeaways with it. Now I also Laura finished just doing MA. I had done the ski last year, but I had to do the teach. And when I looked at my teach, it was fine. I got some good scores and some 4s and 5s in my head, but I got a 3, and I thought, what the heck did I get a 3 for? And I was looking at it, and I had to really think about this, because you sit there and practice and you want your presentation, you want to have your goal statement together, and et cetera, et cetera. I had all that going. My 3 was on play and experimentation. And I realized I had the class, I had my group flowing. I had sort of static, simple, complex, and so forth. And I had time to do in the complex, I was doing some funnel turns with the edging because that was my fundamental. And I thought, okay, what I should have done, because I had time to do 2 sets of those funnel turns, is I should have on the last set said, I want you to go out and play with turns. I want you to just experiment with different sizes, shapes, go over some terrain, maybe check the moguls on the side of the run, and come back and tell you. But I was so locked in to this test,
Yeah, you got
that I had
25
to do
minutes,
the
man.
funnel turns twice, which was okay. But
Right.
that was definitely something I missed.
Yeah, you just always need to think about ways you can allow for individualized
Yeah, I would
practice.
say,
Mhm.
having gone through this now in retrospect, I would have actually spent a little more time looking at the scorecard and looking at each individual assessment that was going to happen, and really
Mhm.
thinking, what does this really mean? And how should I apply it during the exam? That's
Sure,
what.
sure. Good, good. Yeah, I'm trying to bring up the teaching scorecard right now because it's assess and plan, implement and reflect and review. And those are the kind of the pieces, but it is kind of important that you look at I don't do it enough. I need to do it a lot more, and you'll probably see it a lot more. Is that because that was a big thing that came up in the children's trainer was that always be sharing the scorecard and teaching to the scorecard because that's kind of what we're doing. But so you have the assess and plan, implement, and then reflect and review pieces. And you're saying that there should have been more
On the teach, there's the play and experimentation.
play and experimentation.
That doesn't look like the cards.
Well, maybe this is the wrong card. Oh, this is a
Yeah.
That's a
sample
level
form.
3 card.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe I don't have a level 2 card. I have an old level 2 card. Yeah, I don't have the. Sorry about that. So yeah, you need to allow for playful experimentation, right?
Yeah.
And then you try to get some feedback from it, right?
Right.
Hey, what did you
Exactly.
notice? What was different? How did you do this? What were some things that you used to kind of play with the movement a little bit and give me in 3 words or less what it was, right?
Yeah. And
Because
yeah, I actually took from Laura when I was talking to her after MA, when I said, give me a tip on the teach day when we were all there in the edge.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
she said that she asked the group, which of the 2 drills stood out to you more, was more beneficial for you? And I actually did that. It was kind of interesting. So
Oh,
thanks.
good.
yeah, good, good. Any questions for our folks? This is the opportunity. You may never see them again.
No, you'll see me again. But I'm leaving now if there are no questions because I got to get in my car.
All right, good.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for asking us to do this, Chuck.
No problem. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate you sharing. This is important.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, I like to think of this as a way I give back, and just having you guys come up and share as a way that you can kind of give back to this community and help, help whoever's looking at their level twos and coming in the future.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a few. So
Thank you.
Congratulations, you guys.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Wear
Okay,
it proudly. I'll come and I'll give
I'm
it a
very
spit
proud.
shine the next time I see it.
Okay, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, good. Well, we have a skier today, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Obviously I had Richie Berger there, and Richie is very, very good, so we're not going to really focus on him too much. But I do have a skier that kind of came on. And it is this guy. No, it's not that guy. It's this guy. Isn't it this guy? It's this guy. Yeah, yellow jacket and pants. And what are some things that you see right off the bat? What's the overall picture look like?
Chuck, I'm just seeing frames
It's very choppy, just frames.
It's just
Yeah.
frames. Okay, hold on.
versus
Maybe make it smaller. Huh, this is a little unusual. Maybe I need to reset my internet. Does this help any? And I'm going to put this in a chat. Bam. This will make things life a lot easier. Cool. Now he's in the chat. How is my PC battery running low? You're plugged in. Oh, it's doing a self check.
You're still jerking frame by frame.
Yeah, I put him in the chat, so you can go ahead and go to the chat and kind of download them yourself. That might help a little bit. I think I'm gonna have to restart my internet after this is over. I think it's I must have a glitch. What are you guys seeing? Don't be afraid to say something. This is going to be kind of a lightweight tonight. Who's got an exam coming up, by the way? I kind of need to know that.
I'm going for my ski in March.
In March.
I
Okay, so
haven't quite decided if I want to sign up for the MA.
okay.
So Chuck, I'm seeing a lot of snow coming off the tail, so it could be his tips are up, maybe. Still
What
kind
do
of
you guys
fragmented.
think?
Some
What do you guys think? It's variable
got-
conditions, so
Looks like there could be more upper lower body separation.
yeah, you could have some
Um,
more. Yeah, I mean that's one of the first things I saw, Jerry, was his upper body kind of tracks with the skis, don't they?
Yeah, and I saw a turn there that the back separated into a wedge, and one turn where the fronts kind of diverged out. So something's going on with that.
Yeah, I picked up on that last turn where it was almost a downhill stem. And it wasn't almost, it was a downhill stem. His inside ski was tracking, his outside ski wasn't tracking. So in order to get it back on path, he picked it up and stemmed to bring it.
So he had his weight on his inside ski more than his outside ski.
Well, he had to, if he could pick it up, if he could pick up his outside ski,
Right.
he had to have
Which-
weight.
Yeah,
on the
which
inside.
means he's had to wait on the wrong ski.
Right, right.
So I noticed an upward motion for him to initiate his turn and resulting in a Z-shaped turn because there was not foot to foot movement in his skiing.
Does he have some tip lead going on?
Let me see.
I'm trying to find the video and see if we can get it again.
Welcome to the SolGuard Voyager, the travel bag perfected to make trip flow as seamlessly as possible.
Acorns. I was 19 when
I'm gonna apologize. I don't know what happened to my computer, but just decided just to turn off. That was like really strange. All right, let me get the share back up.
Oh.
Sorry again. What were the comments?
Chuck, we were talking about some of us realized that he seems to have more weight on that inside ski because there's a couple turns probably down towards here where he kind of has to stem to be able to start that turn again because he's not at a stable platform.
Yeah, so what do you mean by stem?
He has to pick up that outside ski to be able to initiate that next turn.
He's kind of got to move it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you think that has something to do with inside ski pressure, or does that feel like it could be because he is using some upper body, or what are we thinking here?
I was thinking because his body is following the skis, he's late in the initiation and unable to redirect the skis, which is why he has to stem.
Mm-hmm.
If his body was more down the fall line, if he was, moving with the forces of gravity and using more upper lower body separation, he might be able to have more ability to steer his skis.
Cool.
Using his feet to engage earlier in the turn. And yes, foot to foot pressure to me is also lacking here. I'd probably focus on rotation and foot to foot here with this guy. And hopefully that sort of corrects his where he's trying to trying to go down the fall line more than across the hill.
Cool.
I'm almost going, Joanne, I agree with what you've just said. And obviously there's no wrong answer here. My first focus would be the opposite of yours. I'd focus on having a little more long leg, short leg. I'm noticing now that I'm playing it on my own, is his leg length is pretty much the same for both legs.
Yeah, that's why I said foot to foot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool.
I want to go.
I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, if we worked on rotation with this guy, he'd have better access to, like they feed into each other, obviously. But if we get the legs to move more independently from the upper body, with a little separation of distance between his boots, he might, and without stepping in that stem, he might feel more stable in being able to allow his body to move down the fall line versus across the hill.
And that's kind of why I was saying I would work on foot to foot first, is because if we allow him the ability to have more separation, vertical separation in his leg length, it will biomechanically allow him to move more independently that lower body from the upper body. Right? Just that ability to stack our bones properly by having that long leg and short leg and being able to rotate against something that's providing us stability will eliminate the Z-shaped turns that we're seeing, will allow him to manage that ski to foot pressure better through that stacking of the joints, through the stacking of the muscles, and allow the upper lower separation.
Cool.
It's almost like
So
he's
we're
just parking it in that upper, in the and just sort of riding it through. It's variable, we don't see
it's
from his
variable. I
vantage
mean,
point
there's
skiing.
yeah,
So,
we don't really see
yeah.
great clarity on the turning mechanism, but I have some pretty damning clues,
Mm,
right?
yeah, he's looking for stability and staying balanced in this particular run to me.
Yeah.
Just trying to be consistent from turn to turn. And
Yeah.
that's good. I mean, that part of it is good to me. Like, yeah, plus
No,
keep it
he's
consistent,
he's a pretty accomplished skier, isn't he?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
keep it
absolutely.
consistent in that kind of terrain. Rotation wasn't obviously might not have been an objective at this point. Because it does look pretty variable with some larger bumps and smaller bumps. So
Yeah. So, David, you said, Todd, did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah, when I was skiing last night, and of course I was just doing fun skiing, but then I started paying attention to how I'm actually skiing.
Oh
And
no, that's the rabbit hole, man.
I'm skiing a lot similar to what he is, but I have a half of an artificial knee.
Right.
With our very cold weather, my back's been bothering me. But as I'm coming down, the only time I can really do the outside ski, I have to get so far out over my tips that I feel like I'm too far forward.
Okay.
But I can make the turns, and I thought I was doing great till I realized my inside ski is a little further out than my outside ski.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because of my joints and my artificial, why, I don't know, it's just got me re-looking at things.
Yeah.
So may I ask two questions?
Sure.
I entirely agree about the upper lower body separation being an issue, but I'm not as clear on the biomechanics, because what I've been working on in the East is keeping at the end of each turn, looking and checking that my tips are about even, because if they're not, it's going to be harder to initiate the new turn.
Sure.
This guy seems to always have his tips lined pretty much at the same distance, which makes me wonder if he isn't applying more pressure on his inside ski throughout the turn than we would normally want him to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're seeing a couple of things, right? I don't think anybody's used the word banking yet,
Yeah. With
but
this,
there is definitely an inclination that is happening, right?
yeah.
Which is kind of how I feel that he's actually creating edging, is that the whole body's kind of moving to the uphill or to the inside.
Oh, so that makes sense then.
Yeah, and AJ kind of, I mean, he's trying to be a lot more two-footed. It's kind of variable terrain.
Right.
But the other thing I know that David mentioned something about the STEMI part of it. What are you guys noticing on the stemming, and when and where is it happening? Which ski is it happening to? Because it's pretty consistent all the way through all these turns.
Right.
I was watching his head coming down, and he's looking off to the side rather than down the fall line, and that's kind of where he's going with his turns.
Yeah.
He's not really focusing on the fall line.
Well, that's where the danger is, right, Jerry?
That's what you got to watch for.
You got to watch out for those lions and tigers that come shooting out of the woods, right?
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a valid point. That kind of illustrates a little bit more about what his intent is. Um, Anybody got anything about that downstem? I'm sorry, I just gave away the whole farm.
We
I was
we,
just about
we
to say
talked
that.
about it when you were rebooting. We
Yeah.
talked about that downstem. If you notice, probably on one as he gets closer to the camera, you
Yeah.
can see his stepping of that outside ski
Yeah.
down the hill. And
Mhm.
what we were discussing is that he's inside. His inside ski has weight to it. It
Right.
tracks. That downhill ski doesn't have weight to it. So in order for it to follow a path that's similar, he's got to pick it up and set it into a path that's similar to the path taken by the inside ski.
Cool. I think that's an interesting way to think about it. I think what
Yeah.
he's trying to do is, I think he's equally weighting both skis, which makes it, when I do variable terrain, that's not something I'm looking to do. But he is definitely got more weight on the inside ski than I feel that it's appropriate. I don't think he's quite letting this downhill ski get away from him as much as he's using it as a push-off point to move from one turn to the next.
So is that then at the transition or just before the apex?
Just before the
Initiation.
transition. It's at the initiation part of it. It's how he starts the next turn.
Huh.
And
At the same
Yes,
time,
that's true. It's almost like a stepping.
Yeah, so it's a down stem. It's like I'm going to start the next turn to get to the other side. So I need to kind of push off from one to the other. So I feel like it's a rotary push off because I'm not seeing a tremendous amount of upper body rotation.
True.
It's certainly helping a little bit. I mean, it's not very much though. It's not something I would say that's, especially down here at the bottom, it's very evident, right? Because you really kind of see the push and then it goes to the other side.
if we're gonna relate skill pools together too, when that outside ski moves away and stems, there's a flexion at the waist that allows them to
Yeah.
direct more pressure towards the tip.
Well, he's got to
At the same-
preload, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
At the
gotta
same
have
time,
preload.
though, we got that pressure on the inside ski, making the outside ski lighter. So you're going to see the tail most certainly break loose. I wouldn't say that he's picking it up and stepping it, but it is moving into a stem wedge.
Yeah, a little stemmy wedgy thing, something like this. Just to you got to kind of get from one side to the other. He's
I
not
was
real
gonna
comfortable.
along those lines that Benji just mentioned, I was going to ask, do you think maybe, I don't know, there's no way for us to get into this guy's head. Do you think maybe somebody said, look, you need to ski from outside, one of the fundamentals is outside to outside, foot to foot, whatever we're calling it. Do you think somebody maybe said to him, look, one way to get there is to pressure that outside ski and load it a little bit so that you do have this long leg, start to have this long leg, short leg, this vertical separation, and you can get that early tip engagement. I'm wondering if somebody maybe told them that versus it being more of a biomechanical thing happening.
Now, Benji might agree with me. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of tip engagement.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
Whether or
it's
not it
kind of like a
occurs-
bounce from one side to the other. He never really moves forward. He kind of moves up and back.
Mhm.
A sign of us who learned earlier.
But do you think that some of that may have to do with the kind of skis that he has that
It
maybe
could be. It could be
they
part of his
have, like-
skis. It could be the tactic he wants to do. He's not interested in burying the tip into the snow.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna suggest that maybe it's his ability to release the skis as kind of a common culprit here.
So following that logic,
Uh-huh.
what would be an appropriate activity to get him to either flatten his new inside ski sooner
I don't think he needs to flatten the new inside ski. Oh, I see what you're trying to do. Yeah, you're looking for
Get him to initiate,
yeah, well, right now
not hopping
he's
up.
using this to bounce from one side to the other so he can get a quick edge,
Yeah.
right? So he's kind of pink to here, and he's going straight to a quick edge. I mean, ideally, what we would like him to do instead is to release down the hill
Right.
so that he can move into the turn this way.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the fundamentals is both skis shall turn slash steer into the beginning of the turn simultaneously at the same time. That's what I'm sorry, not a fundamental, but a
Common thread.
Common thread. Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to be able to get both tips to kind of move down the hill.
Simultaneously. Yeah.
Right, simultaneously and smoothly, right?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, certainly the top part of the turn is very quick, and the bottom part of the turn is kind of a long finish. So as far as a task is concerned, ooh, this could be, I wish there was a single task we could point to, Gay, and say, this shall fix you. Dink, right? I think he needs to figure out how to release the skis. I imagine he probably does something similar when he's doing basic parallels too. And how do we move across the skis and get simultaneous leg tipping with the lower legs?
So if you're doing, trying to solve this in a less incline without bumps, it's fairly easy. But we were in a discussion at my mountain last night, and it was like, at Winter Park, at some point, I learned, well, if I just pull both of my feet completely under me before I initiate, then the new inside ski will flatten, and all the biomechanics, since I'm properly aligned skeletally, will work.
Right.
And I'm just saying, it sounds from what I'm hearing everyone is what we want to work on is that not the early transition, but what he does during the transition. No,
what he does in the transition to kind of smooth it out. I mean, we want him to smooth out. But I mean, certainly one of the things I want to see from him is lower leg tipping.
Yes.
Because everything's inclination.
Oh, which is so hard to see on the bumps.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I was
in this
thinking
case, yeah.
for a drill here would be starting off on more groom terrain, but take it from like a pivot slip into a wider, more fanned out Indian and basic parallel. So adding more turn shape with each turn, but allowing them to work on the edge release in Gay's case, focusing on that outside ski pressure from initiation and through, and the isolation of leg rotation.
Yes, and is this a level 3 ski?
This is a level 3 skier, yes.
Oh, phew.
Yeah. Sorry. I picked this guy because I see a lot of the same patterns I used to have in him.
I still have them.
In a lot of ways, yes. Jim is slowly beating them out of me, yes.
Yeah, the relentless Jim.
The relentless Jim. But I mean, we really need to, for my opinion, we really need to start figuring out how to tip the lower legs. Because we can talk about release all we want, but the release happens with your ankles inside your boots.
Yes.
And I am not seeing that. It's like full on one side and full on the other.
Yeah, it's not smooth.
Switch. I'm sure he's probably thinks he's doing it, but he's not showing any indication here. And it might be the terrain too. I mean, does not look like it's
this is definitely
easy
a
terrain.
dark blue.
Yeah, he's moving at least 4 or 5 feet downhill after every turn.
Yeah.
And he's probably pretty uncomfortable with the conditions because the conditions look like they're interesting.
Looks like Snow Creek in the spring.
Yeah. Snow Creek never. Yeah, you're talking about the corn snow, right?
Yeah.
So the primary fundamental would be what would be
Well, I mean, he's got a myriad of issues.
yeah.
One of them is I definitely need him to move down the hill, not up the hill and that little pop that he does at the initiation.
So which fundamental
He
is
kind of opens up. See how folded he is here?
yeah.
And watch the upper body moves up and
Yep.
straighten, right? And then he lightens the skis so he can go to the other side. See how they kind of twist?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the big inclination, but the
Oh,
inclination doesn't really change any. So yeah, we need to get him moving down the hill.
So,
I'm curious to know how retraction turns would work in this kind of situation because it wouldn't allow him to do the down stem. Because he would be retracted. It's really hard to push against the snow when you don't.
oh yeah,
have-
like pulling your feet under you. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yes, in a way, yes. So, but he does open up on every turn, and that opening up makes it more difficult for him to do anything except go up and twist. But it's got to start. It's a quick twist. That's where I think this down stem becomes important for him.
So the primary would be replacing inclination with angulation. at the
Yeah,
beginning
I
of
mean
the
that would, and this is my opinion because we've bridged from the subjective or the objective to the subjective. My opinion is that we need to investigate the ability to tip the lower legs. That's
Okay.
my opinion. Benji might have a different opinion. AJ mentioned something about long leg, short leg. I mean, that would be something that would help him tip too. I think there are lots of ways we could tackle this issue. But he's done a pretty good job of being fairly stable with his upper body, except for that extension part. And the other thing is that we've mentioned this before, but he loses counter. He never really gains counter that much.
No, I mean, never has it.
Right. I mean, the counter that he gets is really that down stem. He's just putting himself in a position to down stem, and then he kind of switches and it kind of goes to the other side.
So that would be your secondary focus.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about counter.
Mm.
Yeah.
You guys are coaching me. I'm listening.
Is this UK?
I got more counter, but I definitely have his problems.
Yeah. Yeah, counter's hard. Counter's hard, especially the new emphasis on it now. It's hard, but it makes things a lot easier.
Yeah.
Would that retraction turn be the best way to work him into upper lower body separation?
Yeah, yeah, because it's really hard to push down on a ski when you have your legs bent.
Okay.
Right, you know what I mean? I mean, you can, but you end up going up instead of staying down, right? We really need the skis to kind of come up underneath you and move to the other side before you can start pushing. If you do it when it's here, it's going to be kind of you know what I mean? It's going to be kind of hard for him to keep from going backwards. And he'll know that the first time he tries it. He'll be like, "Oh, no, I don't want to do that." I'm spitballing with the retraction. I'd like to see him perform with the retraction and see how that changes. He may say, "No, that's not working."
I think the retraction would be good for looking at that upper lower the leg length separation. If I was doing upper lower separation on someone that's this skilled of a skier, I'd be doing things like, well, I mean, there's a bunch of things you can do, but you can do things like J turns, start simple, like, and do J turn garlands, where you're trying to get your body pointed down the hill, doing things like doing those same J turns, then balancing poles on the back of your hand so that you don't have that up down motion and you've got to hold it. and steer underneath. Javelin turns,
Go ahead, go ahead. Yeah. I was thinking going the same direction. What would happen if he had to do javelins? How would that change his performance? Obviously not javelins in this.
no, javelins in this would be a little
It
difficult.
would, yeah, it would have to be on something smoother.
But you could do J turns, and even in this snow, balance the poles on the back of your wrists.
Mm-hmm.
I have an interesting thing. You know, all the list of exercises at Catamount, we've got several people who are in level 3s and run skiers. They have a new one called the headache.
The headache.
Yeah, and what you do is you take both hands and you let's see if you can see me. You put your hands on each side of your head above your ears, and you hold it going down the mountain. So you can't look left or right and use both eyes. So it forces you to look down the mountain, and it accentuates the difference between your upper and lower body.
Deb,
I don't
Deb
think you
Armstrong
practiced all
has a
that.
video on that.
She does
Yeah.
have something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also like the butterfly drill where you can put the poles behind your back. You know, they hook up here, and then you put them behind your back this way. I use that a lot.
Oh,
with
yeah,
kids
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
in bumps because it forces them to kind of isolate the upper body. So they can't get real twisty at the top. It's really hard to do that.
I mean, if you combined something to do with getting your feet under you, whatever preferred way, and then add the headache thing at the end, obviously not on this terrain, I think it would address both issues.
Could be. Could be.
I got to go try it now. We have a lot of snow in the Northeast, so I can do this.
Yeah. All right, good. Whoops.
He's not moving he's not moving frontagonally. Therefore,
He's not really moving frontagony, no. That'd be
No, he's
nice if
just-
he did.
just following the tips of his skis.
Yep, yep. All right, so I've got 3 breakout rooms, and I'm gonna drop in 3 videos. And let's go ahead and put some MAs together. Okay, and again, let's keep it a little bit light tonight. AJ, I'm giving you, well, you can tag team. I'm gonna let, hey, Benji, I'm gonna let AJ kind of lead that group. Okay. And Alona, you got yourself a group, and Kelby, you got a group. All right. Go to your groups.
One eternity later.
All right. Whose group wants to go first?
Chuck, we'll go first.
All
I might as well start us off.
Dave's going straight to the point. All right, cool.
Let's
Love
do
it. Bam. And you had Korean American share. There we go. All right. All right, cool. So we have this guy. All right, tell me about this guy.
So this person, we talked through it, and this person, there's a couple things we noticed right off the bat. The first thing is there's not really a lot of edge engagement with this person. It's kind of like the edges aren't engaged as much as a lot of skidding. And if you notice going down, there's kind of this metronome effect, back and forth, and it's very sequential. The movements are very sequential in all the skills. And so that's the first thing. Those are the things we noticed. And from there, Chuck asked us, okay, what fundamental would you focus on with this person? So we said, okay, we talked about, foot-to-foot pressure, because this skier's a little bit similar, but yet different from the first skier we saw today, where as that first skier had sort of a down stem, this person has more of an up stem in their skiing, and they do a good job of directing pressure to the outside ski, but it's how it's directed. is what I'd like to fix. And we threw around some ideas of how we could fix this or make it more of what we'd like to see. We threw out so maybe doing stork turns, possibly. We talked about, maybe doing. I suggested maybe some thumper turns, something like that. Or you could do, really dynamic short wedge turns. I don't know if that's the exact phrase, but it's something along that line
Dynamic
there,
short
Chuck.
radius, high performance wedge turns.
Okay. I wasn't going to get it exact, but I'm like, I've got to at least get the short wedge turns in there. I'm like, it's wasn't going to be exact, but I was going to be close, at least in the ballpark. Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe we also talked about changing up the turn shape because this person, as you see coming down, they do basically very short turns. They seem to be married to that idea. That's just our guess. So that's kind of what we noticed and kind of how the process that we went through. So that's kind of our thoughts on that. So
cool. Without really hitting like all of the, I'm sure Dave is sick and tired of hearing about the initiation, shaping, and finish phases.
Just a little bit.
I mean, not you, David. David, the other David.
Oh, other David. So
he's kind of over it, right? I mean, the key, what do you guys notice as the key features? Do you agree or disagree with David Meredith there? Kelby is yawning already. I'm already losing Kelby. The mom thing. I know. I get it. Yeah. It's been a long day of teaching and then I got to come home and mom stuff. But I think David's right. I mean, there's a lot of sequential movement. I think a lot of the sequential comes from a lot of upper body twist. But it's definitely edging is sequential. Ski to ski is sequential. Rotation is sequential. It's just sequential all the way across the board. And he just steps from one ski to the other, which is how he kind of trends the transition from one turn to the next.
I'd be curious to see what happens with the skier on steeper terrain.
Yeah, I am
And the intensity of because he will have to do something with his movements to make his turns. I get.
Well, we do have an example of him doing some kind of retraction turn here.
Open ankles.
Open ankles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that's pretty consistent all the way across I mean, he's open ankles because of retractions, but do his ankles really change from here than from here?
Not near enough.
Not a whole lot, no. Not a whole lot.
You can see the inside ski pressure with the way the ski tips diverge.
Yeah, right at the end of the turn. Like he kind of diverges real quick. Never really quite gets off the outside ski. So there's a divergence there. Then he converges. Then he diverges again. It's pretty consistent all the way across the board. He never really shortens the inside ski a whole lot, but he does a little bit, but everything's from an up extension, and then he kind of gets a little bit longer, but he still inclines because he never really ever gets, and it's better when you're watching him here. He never really gets any angles built at all. I mean, it's just pretty consistently incline, incline, incline. That banking thing in terms of ski to ski pressure. I mean, that's a really good one right there. He's just, if there's any angles being built, it's usually in the hip. Nothing's happening in the lower body at all. And yeah, it makes it really difficult to get pressure off the outside ski or off the inside ski without either doing one of two things, shoving it forward or literally lifting it off the snow. And though that's kind of where David went was like with the stork turn to kind of see how he could have changed his alignment by forcing him to be more on the outside ski. Make him stand on the outside ski. Questions on this one? Agree, disagree? Am I full of it? I love it when you fight me. Come on.
Is the stork turn where you lift the inside ski? I don't remember what stork
Yeah,
refers to.
they added it to the IDP this year. It's
Okay.
it's a level 2 outside ski turn is what it is. So basically you lift the inside ski off the snow, but you keep the tip on the snow the whole time.
Okay. Right. Because you're forward. Okay.
Yeah, because you want to show that you're, have some ankle flex.
Hasn't that always been on the IDP, even for level 1?
Level 1 really didn't ever have outside ski turns. They had they had the arcs, the J turns. But yeah, level 2 it's been a stork turn, but they don't call it an outside ski turn anymore. They just call it a stork turn.
Is Sumper the same type of thing?
It's not a white pass turn, right?
A white pass turns where you lift up the outside leg and you tip onto the inside pinky toe.
I got to come to Winter Park to practice that.
Your stork turns?
Yeah, I never could get them. I need a lot of space.
Yeah, stork turns?
Oh, not the stork turn, the white pass.
The white pass, yeah. Yeah,
I'm seeing stork turns on the IDP.
It's on the new IDP. Do you have the new IDP?
I thought so. Let's see. Updated 2024. Is that the new one?
No, there's
No,
a new
probably
one
not.
updated 2025.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I know.
It's killing my printer and the color ink.
So I'm going to go ahead and shove it into your I'll go ahead and put it in the
Thank you.
Chat real quick so you have it. All right, cool. Who wants to go next?
We can go. Group
All
1.
right. Which one did you have? Do you have this one or this one?
Level 2 basic parallel.
All right, cool.
Yeah, her. So this is
not to the standard.
You don't think?
No.
Huh?
Supposedly level 2 skier on green blue terrain. Making open parallel turns. We use the SVI format.
SVI. Okay.
Yeah. Situation, behavior, impact.
Cool.
So that was the situation. Behavior. Her body seems to follow her tips. She's using upper body rotation to initiate the turn, and she's
so how do you know?
How do we know she's using upper body rotation to initiate the turn? Watch her shoulders and her hips. They track with the ski tips.
Got to be body part specific.
Okay. Shoulders and tips. Okay. Initiate the turn. Okay. And then she's inclined at shaping. And the impact of that is there's a rapid rotation of the skis at initiation and the tails wash out, indicating she's steering to an edge. There's not much time in the fall line at all because of that rapid rotation. And there's a little bit of a stem or a wedge Christie indicating her outside ski is turning faster than her inside ski.
No way.
Captain Obvious, huh?
Yeah.
So the fundamentals we'd focus on would be rotation to get her legs turning separate from her upper body.
Okay.
And some edging to get her to be able to get to an edge without inclining so much.
Oh, okay. Well, how are you going to do that? How are you going to combine both of those together?
So for the rotating of the legs, we could do bow ties, get her to feel what it feels like for her femur to turn.
Oh, you're going to go to, okay. So you're going to go to a progression. All right.
Right. Pivot slips to get her to feel the edge and releasing the edge into the new turn.
Okay.
And then outside pole drag would help her get angles.
Okay.
And railroad tracks as well would help her get angles.
You got 4 items here,
If she
Progressive.
could do them.
If she can do them, yeah. Which one do you think would make the most impact right off the bat?
Rotating her legs underneath the stable upper
I
body.
like that one. Yeah. I like that one. And one of the things we need to do is get her centered in the ski,
Yeah.
right? Because when
Yeah,
she
Benji
initiates,
made a
she
really
goes
good
back.
point.
Yeah.
Benji made a really good point about biomechanically, because her waist is so open, she really doesn't have access right now to rotate those femurs.
No. And then every time she does a pull plan, drags it back, the whole body moves back.
Back and inside, yeah.
Back and inside, back and inside. And it doesn't always work, right? Isn't that weird? So sometimes she lets the shoulder drop back, and that's not enough because she's so far back. The tails don't release enough for her. So she hasn't moved up enough. You know what I mean? So this is a pretty good one. This one moves up and she gets a little light in the tails, but watch this one. She never gets light in the tails. So it's like, oh, there it is. Right? So it becomes a little bit more of an edge on that, or a wedge on that side. So it's kind of how she releases. That's kind of a key indicator for. Did you see people like this at the exam, David?
No.
Ski? Huh?
Well, I didn't do the ski part this time. I did it last April.
Yeah.
And no, not all of us passed, but Barnes and Swaz said it was a really strong group. So I don't remember people skiing.
Okay, good. Yeah, you were focused on you, right?
Yeah. Slightly, yeah.
Yeah, not likely. 100%, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Any questions on this one? Not a lot of upper and lower body separation. Weirdly, she keeps her skis together the whole time. I mean, almost like she's trying to paint with them.
I was thinking, get her to do cowboy turns to start.
Yeah, cowboy turns. Yeah, I mean, that would be an effective way to kind of create some
stance.
like both upper and lower body separation and independent leg rotation.
Okay.
Because she's not really doing that. She's just turning like a 5-year-old right now. It's a whole body thing, right?
Yeah, unibody. Yeah.
Have you noticed the pole plants tend to almost get her to ski up the hill rather than down the hill?
Yes. 100%. Up and back, and then kind of up and back again.
It'll slow her down, that's for sure.
Yeah. How do you think she's going to do in the bumps?
Not fun.
No, she would have a very rough day in the bumps. And this is Intermountain, so they kind of cherish their bumps too. So, all right, cool. Last one, medium raised people. Who's going to Spreckensy on this one? Captain Hip Dumper. He's dragging the outside pole sometimes.
I can speak up.
All right, go ahead. Well, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to lead the group. But if you're dying to, go ahead.
Unless someone else wants to speak from the group.
Well, we did notice that at transition, where you want the simultaneous change, it's very fast.
Yep. Well, he has to. He's got to get up and over to the other side as quickly as he can.
Right. And part of the indication was, is this the right term, Kelby? Tip lead differences.
Yeah.
So apparently the inside ski is not carving enough for the poor outside ski to catch up.
Oh, okay.
So if I have a quick little change at the transition, nobody will notice. We just correct it, but I don't, and that's where Kelby was giving me information about drills, because I'm not so sure how to address that as a corrective.
Okay. Kelby, you want to fill in some picture?
For what I would do to fix a skier,
No, a little bit
or
more
just
on painting the picture.
um,
What
so
is
I would
it? Did you
say,
have a fundamental you were looking at?
yeah, we were looking at edging and ski to ski.
Edging and cool.
Yep.
All right.
So you could see the skier, just broad, big picture, everything at the top of the turn happens very quickly. When the
Mhm.
skier gets to the bottom half of the turn, things slow down.
Yeah.
You can see at the initiation phase that that soon to be outside ski releases before the inside ski.
Mhm.
The when the skier gets to the shaping phase, the inside the skis start to tip together, and
Mhm.
then they continue to tip together throughout the finish phase.
Uh-huh.
This is where, gosh, I haven't talked in a while. Um, However, due to the ski to ski problem, at the initiation phase, the skier gets to the outside ski very quickly. And then as the skier goes from initiation into shaping, the skier's center of mass falls in, which causes the skier to incline and pressure the inside ski more than ideal. And
Okay.
as the skier comes through finish, the weight becomes more evenly distributed.
Okay.
I
So
gotta
he's
take you, Kelby. That sounded really clear.
yeah, it was
Mhm.
really clear. She's got
Could have
this.
been
I don't
better.
know why she didn't want to do the MA Tech because she's scared, I guess. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
guilt her into it. Um, he's a park and rider, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious. He gets the highest edge angle early and he stays on the same high edge
Mhm.
angle almost completely through the turn.
Mhm.
And then there's like as you were saying, there's a lot of movement to get him to go from one side to the other because not only does he have to get out of the old turn, but he's got to get into the new turn as quickly as possible. And he's got to do a lot of hip rotation to do that.
Where it goofs though is because the skier has more pressure on the inside ski,
Yeah.
the outside ski is on a higher edge angle. They're tipping together.
It is on a higher edge angle. I agree with you. However, he's getting a lot of performance on the inside ski, right? Because you can
Yeah.
see it right there, right?
Yeah.
They are not tracking the same.
Right.
So he's getting a lot of performance on the inside ski, and then he's got to come out of it. And that's like really indicative of what he's doing.
It's almost like a shuffle right at the transition.
Yeah, the shuffle is what he's got to do because now he's got to get he's got to get pressure on the new outside ski, which doesn't happen until like right now.
Right.
And then what does he do to get pressure off the old outside ski?
Leans harder on the inside.
He kind of pushes it forward. So he's
Oh,
got an
that's awesome.
extreme, he's got an extreme, and this will be good to watch because you'll
Mhm.
see that how the shins are not the same angle,
Mhm.
right? The outside ski's further back. So, but he's trying to hammer down on his shin to get more pressure on it. And the inside ski's got a different angle altogether because he's pushed that forward in an effort to try to get pressure off of it.
Oh boy.
And then he's dumped the hip in. And the only way you can get higher edge angles when you dump in is to dump further because you've lost any ability to tip the lower legs.
Mhm.
So, and
Okay,
we
so
can
far
see it
it's
because
ended.
he's pointed to the outside of the turn there. And when he gets to the other side, he's pointed to the outside of the turn there. Classic hip dumper.
So the fundamental is correcting the weight between the skis at the transition. What is the fun?
We need to smooth it out, but we also need to correct the fact that he loses counter. He has no counter built, right?
Oh,
He never, I
right.
mean, he, I could, well, I hate to say that, but he has counter here, but as soon as he transitions, he's square in a ski length. He's gone from slight counter to square to rotationally countered to the outside.
So there's actually not enough separation between upper and lower as well.
There is a different kind of separation that's happening. There's a different kind of, see how square he is to the ski there?
Yep.
This side's better than the other side, but he's still parking riding it, right?
Yeah.
Watch how far his hip goes in here. See, look at all the rotation. He's kind of come out of this turn with his body pointed across the hill,
Yeah.
and then it just stays there.
Big A-frame.
Big, well, the A-frame is indicative of a hip dumper too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a hip dumper is someone who dumps their inside hip.
Yeah, so they move. So ideally, you want to be rotationally separated here, right?
Mhm.
Got my upper body is pointed more to the inside of the new turn. He is here, and then he moves this way.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that perpetuates the park and ride too.
Well, it's a very powerful position. I'm not gonna lie to you. I honestly believe that hip dumping is on the spectrum. Everybody does it at some point and another because it feels really powerful. You're extending the outside leg, the ski is doing what it's supposed to do. It's all these crazy things that you're really wanting to feel, but it also severely limits you on your ability to move because you're stuck in this rotationally hinged point and you're locked out on your leg and you're here in this position here. So your ability to move or turn your legs is gone. Your ability to tip your legs is gone. So the only way I can get higher edge angles is literally move to more to the inside.
Huh.
And then you got to come completely out of it again, which is why you see this kind of really violent move up and forward to try to get to the next position. And his skis are already turning before his upper body does. So now he's pointing to the outside of the turn again.
So this person would have a really hard time with short radius turns and bumps.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's really, I mean, all that movement he's got to do to get from one side to the other. Yeah. Questions? It's 8:45. We're 15 minutes over, 13 minutes over.
So David, did you pass?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
David passed. He is now a newly minted silver pin holder.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can't be prouder of all the people who passed this week. It's really awesome. So, and then of course, Laura also passed Gay if you weren't here earlier.
I gotta spend my last month of the ski season in Winter Park.
Are you? Are you coming out?
I hope so.
When are you coming out?
One of my friend's husbands just died. Fred.
Oh, yeah.
Karen
Yeah.
Chapin's
Are you
husband.
coming out this week? Because
No, I'm doing my exams and stuff at Whiteface.
Oh, okay.
I'll come out in the middle of March, I hope.
Okay. Yeah. Karen is apparently devastated.
Well, it was so sudden.
Apparently it wasn't that sudden. I mean, apparently his
Yeah.
health hasn't been great in the last month or so, but it's still shocking. You know what I mean? So I feel really bad for Karen. Yeah. All right.
We talked about using pivot slips to kind of bring him out of that.
Oh, the
Pivot slips would be a good place to go, right? Anything that's going to keep him from giving him time to rotationally move to the inside.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, right, because he'd have to be more upright. Okay.
Yeah, he still kind of struggles with leg rotation. That's just not his jam. Good skier. He's got his level 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Ollie.
This is from 8 years ago. He got his level 3 in I want to say 2020 or 2021.
Wow.
And it was back when you could pass each ski in a section.
Oh,
And the part that he had to go back and do was obviously bumps.
Oh.
He had to go back and do the bumps again. So they used to do it. They'd have like two people stationed in on piste and two people that were off piste and two people that were doing individual tasks, and you'd have to do each section. So you'd have an individual, and then you would have the highlighted tasks, and then you would have the versatility tasks. And you would have two different examiners for every one of them, and you could pass each section at a time. So if you instead of passing the whole day or failing the whole day, you could pass each section and go back and take that section over again. But that's no longer true. He got grandfathered into that. They don't allow that anymore. So you have to pass the whole day. So it's unfair, damn it. All right. Thank you guys for coming. And again, congratulations, Dave. Congratulations, Laura. I'm really, really proud of you guys. I know you worked really, really hard on this.
Thanks to
Dave,
you.
you're here pretty consistently all summer long. And I know Laura worked, I mean, she would not only she would do MA on Sundays at Winter Park, then she would come and join us and do more MA. She had MA on Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesdays or Wednesdays. She was getting pretty sick of it by then. So, but she was bound and determined to pass. So I'm really, really proud of her too. So, all right. Thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you next week. I'll be in the WP.
All right.
thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Chuck.
Thank
Not a problem.
you. Thank you, Gumby.
Have a great night.
You too.
You too.